We're filming this right now. Arya, who's one of the students observing me here in the clinic, had a good question. Why don't you ask your question again, Arya?
So I was just wondering for making those connections about pain and how it affects your psychological mindset. How do you get people to open up about their past and making those connections?
Yeah, so it's a great question. And what Arya's asking is how do you get people to feel comfortable to open up about some of these topics that are probably sensitive or personal, especially once you start to understand it. In GNM, a lot of the physical symptoms have an emotional component that some people are either conscious of, or most of us are not conscious of, based on unexpected things that we deal with in our life. Well, you're right, when you're dealing with joint pain, you're talking about devaluation, you're talking about feeling guilty about a relationship, you're talking about feeling unsupported. So how do we get people to open up about that? I have to admit that clinically, most people, for whatever reason, are comfortable based maybe on my own personality. Maybe it's who I am, maybe it's my level of confidence and certainty in what I'm doing. Maybe it's my energy in making people feel safe, or creating an environment that makes them feel like they're not going to be judged or criticized in any way. Because I'm kind of shocked when I'm about to bring up what their symptoms are tied to, and it's potentially a sensitive topic. Some of the symptoms people come in with, sometimes it's a sexual conflict issue, and I guess the way I communicated, at some level I feel very certain and confident with how I'm going to word what I'm going to ask. It maybe comes across almost flippant, that it's just a natural question that I would ask, and perhaps again just my energy around who I am makes people feel comfortable that they can open up to me, and maybe that's just like a gift that I have. But I know that there have been people, I mean not a lot, but there have been people that have not felt comfortable, that they'll say, oh no, everything's fine, I have no stress, there's no issues in any relationships, everything's good in my life. I also respect that maybe they're saying that because they're not ready to open up to me. But I really think in the end, for those of you that are practitioners, or you're looking for a way to be able to communicate this to people, I really think your intention matters, like the intent of your question, or your energy, the intent of why you're bringing this up or why you're asking it matters. Having said that, for a lot of people that are not in a clinical setting, you're only going to be faced with this in a social setting, when you're dealing with family or friends and they're saying that they have some sort of symptom, and you want to try to figure out, okay, what's the GNM explanation of this, and you might bring that up, like, hey, did you know that your stomach issue, sometimes that's related to an anger issue, right? So it depends on the energy you come with that. A lot of the times, I joke that for us, it's kind of cool that we can make the connection that, let me figure this out. It's almost like a game. It's like a detective, right? Like, oh, okay, he's got this issue. I wonder what's going on. Who made you angry? Or who made you scared when you have a cough? Or who do you feel unsupported by? But the energy of that makes people sometimes uncomfortable, because it's almost like you're making a joke, or you're making fun of their issues of what they're dealing with, or emotionally what they're having to address in their day-to-day lives. So sometimes in a social or family setting, it comes across that way, which makes people defensive or not willing to open up. But I really think that if you're in a clinical setting, or those of you that are practitioners, it's different. It really comes down to your intention and honesty, and trying to connect with the person. And really, for me, my overall thing in those interactions, it's like, what can I do right now for you to help get you out of pain as quickly as possible, or to help give you some relief as quickly as possible? And I really think that's where my energy, my heart goes when I'm communicating with the client. Like, I'm really listening intently to what they're saying. And so I feel like the questions I'm asking, it's based on piecing it together so that I can help them get some relief. I guess that's the roundabout answer. Part of it is that it's a natural thing for me to connect with people, make them feel comfortable. And then part of it is also just my intention that when you're in a clinical setting, it's not a social setting. It's not like we're just hanging out for fun. It's not like I'm trying to figure out a puzzle. I'm really trying to help you get some relief and get an understanding of what you're dealing with.